Hey everybody, it's Joe DeGanzik and this is Smarter Home Life. You know, it's just a couple of days away from Apple's big WWDC event and I thought it's time for a couple more HomeKit product reviews. And this one is none other than the Koogeek Smart Socket and Energy Monitor, which was provided by Koogeek to Smarter Home Life to make this review possible. So full disclosure there. And the product is pretty much exactly what you think it is. This smart socket will turn virtually any existing light socket into a remotely controllable one. You simply screw the Koogeek in, twist in a 25 watt or less light bulb into it, download the app, run through the normal HomeKit setup process, and you're good to go. The LED on the Koogeek will indicate whether it's doing something, like connecting to Wi-Fi, and also indicate its status, like on or off. The physical button allows for manual control. Something to think about when you're looking at one of these types of products is that it's going to add, roughly about 2 inches of height or depth perhaps to your light fixture, your lamp socket. So you want to look at that. Maybe it's in some sort of under a lampshade and the bulb is going to stick out. Do a little bit of measurement as well. And your lamp socket may or may not support it depending on the fixture because it's about 2.5 inches in diameter, and it will accept an E26 standard North American light bulb. I'm going to be using this cool LED kind of filament old-fashioned Edison style bulb, and they do have a European version of this as well. If you do happen to disconnect power or move the smart socket to another light fixture, the default behavior once power comes back on to it will be turning back on immediately, and it'll reconnect to Wi-Fi over a few seconds. It won't just kind of resume the last state of being turned off if you have it turned off. So just be aware of that. Speaking of connections, if I could get the live feed from the iPhone on the screen, please. All right, there it is. Great, now to the demos. The Koogeek app was pretty similar, actually looks somewhat similar to the tiles of the Home app from Apple itself. And you don't need an account. It will ask you during setup, but you can skip through that. So thank you, Koogeek, for making that optional. I really don't like it when products force you to set up an account just to use them as something basic as an on-off device for a light bulb. And also, to be clear, this is not a dimmable light smart socket, which it's going to come down a little bit in my review because I feel like if you're going to control a light bulb, it's a dedicated light bulb controller device, it should do more than just on and off. The icons, you can't rearrange these. It's a pretty basic app. You don't have to live in this app. You can use any HomeKit compatible app, Apple's Home app, anything from another manufacturer or the third-party control apps that are out there that work with HomeKit. And they're pretty simple. You can see it's pretty responsive. Click on, off, on, off, on, off. I could do that all day. You can long tap it. You can get in here. You can do the same thing, kind of on, off. You can get into the details of it, which will also show you the energy. They'll start showing you by the month, and then you can drill down into a particular month, if I can tap on that. Just for today, it's been a little bit. You'll see the watt hours. I barely used one, like a half a watt. And so it gives you that information, and so you can see also, if I turn this guy on, power state, there we go, you can see that the current power, drawing 2 watts, it's going to come up probably to about 6 watts, there we go, which is right about in line, just a little bit over for what the bulb is actually rated for, which is 4 watts for this LED 40 watt equivalent. So anyways, there we are at 7 watts, and so that's where the energy monitoring is. You can't see it on all of the devices. Even if you had all Koogeek devices, there doesn't appear to be a way to see it for your entire home, but you can go into the individual products and see it that way and get that nice history of it. You can live in, which I would recommend for people who are just getting into home automation. It's not super powerful, but again, we may get some new news and tidbits with the next version of iOS. I'm guessing it's going to be called iOS X or 10 something. At WWDC, so we'll see the next iteration of HomeKit and this Home app itself, which doesn't give you the energy readout, but you can do, well, everything else, which for this product is turning things on and off, scheduling via automations and so forth. I've kind of gone through that on another video, which I'll link here as well. And then also be sure to check out the home tour video, which was pretty recent, which you can see all the different ways I use home automation and how I live in this tiny smarter home. And that's on the YouTube channel as well. So in here, you can set this up by room. Obviously, this is HomeKit. It's Siri, so you can control it with your voice. You can group these things into rooms, so you could say turn everything off, in the kitchen or across the entire home. Schedule automations via sensors. Schedule it via sunrise, sunset, or certain times. So many different possibilities when you go into the automations tab and you hit create new automation. Many different ways that you can integrate this. I've gone through it before, so I'm not going to put that in here as well. Again, on off, and of course I could say, hey Siri, turn off the light bulb.
Okay.
There we go. And the device responded faster than the voice from my British butler. So that is pretty much it. I'll turn it on just for kind of ambiance sake here. But that is pretty much all I can say. It comes down a little bit for me in the review. I would say 4 out of 5 stars just because it doesn't have dimming. But if you don't need dimming, if it's going to be in a closet or somewhere far away that doesn't have a switch and it's inconvenient to turn on and off and you need that remote control, this could be the product for you. Thanks again to Koogeek for supplying this smart socket to make this review possible. And if you're watching this video in its early days, you've got access to a coupon code that's exclusive to this review. It's only good through June 15th of 2017, and it will get you 20% off the product's normal $40 price over at Amazon. The coupon code is in the video description and over at the companion article at smarterhomelife.com. A big thanks also to our Smarter Home Life insiders over at Patreon who continue to help make these videos possible. If you want to get sneak peeks on what's coming next and special, really fun behind the scenes footage and more, head over to supportshl.com and sign up. Otherwise, I'm Joe DeGanzik for Smarter Home Life, and I'll see you next time.